What's up guys? The whole reason that I made this video is because of this guy. If he never commented that, then I would have never gotten Bankai. You know, when I started recording this, I thought that I was gonna be him and I was gonna defeat Bankai easily with a ton of restrictions on me. But as you'll see in this video, I was not that guy.
You're not that guy.
Before we get to that though, to celebrate 1,000 subscribers, I made a Discord server. So if you want to join, click the link in the description or pinned comment. Now let's go progress as a Soul Reaper. On this build, I was going full spirit so that defeating my Bankai would be harder. If I'm being honest, my ego was way too high. Like, it was so high, it was touching the clouds. Oh, and look at this peak gameplay in the background. After a little bit of grinding, I finally got to level 15 and I started to collect orbs for my Shikai. Then, after collecting a bunch of orbs, I finally got to fight my Shikai. I've seen some of you guys comment that Shikai was harder than Bankai, but I do not understand how, because it was so easy for me. I can't lie, anyone in the comments who said this was hard, I don't have any vitality. It was so easy. I could see how you could lose this like once, but that's about it. That was the easiest fight ever, bro. That was easier than the rogue Shinigami. There was no way that people lost on that. Little did I know that I would be eating those words later. Then I saw it. The legendary item that would create a big change in this playthrough. Now you might be asking, how could just one item create such a big change in this playthrough? It's not just because they're cat ears and they make me look cute. I mean goofy. Yeah, definitely goofy. Anyway, that's not the reason. The reason is because it gives you negative stats. Just because of that, I decided to use it during my Bankai fight. But that's not all. There's another trait that's even worse, and I was about to find out what it was the hard way. If you equip an item as Vanity, it doesn't do anything, right? So I just set the item to Vanity and went through the time gate behind me, not expecting much. Once I got in, it didn't take me long to notice it. Wait, what? Yo, hold up. I couldn't flash step anymore, even though the item was only Vanity. So I did the thing anyone would do in this situation, and I tried to take it off. But no matter how hard I tried, it wouldn't work, because you can't take off items in a time gate. And to make matters worse, I was selected as the team leader. The game did not want me to win this battle, but somehow, some way, by some miracle, we actually won. What? My teammates carried me so hard that their backs must be hurting now, and their butts. By now, I knew that I was going to use these cat ears in my Bankai fight for sure, because like I said previously, I had a big ego while recording this. So by now, you've probably noticed that I'm a girl on this account, and there's a good reason for that. When I saw all the personality they have, if you know what I mean, I had to check it out for myself. At this point, I finally decided to buy the uniform. You ready? You ready? Here we go, here we go. Yo, let's go. Look at those. Look at those.
Then something just snapped. Something inside of me.
Then, a little bit later, something happened. You could say that the other players agreed with me. So, as you saw, the other players think I have a lot of personality too. Honestly, I think they should add this to Rel C's. It would attract even more players. Alright, so I'm gonna be honest. I was fighting a Storm Bastakar with this guy. I was hitting him a lot, and at the end, my fire even killed him. He was not gonna let that slide and came back to fight. The thing is, I was not trying to fight right now, so I thought of a plan and realized that he couldn't attack me in the dojo. So that's exactly where I went. And if you listen closely, you can hear him flash stepping in the background, so I think I juked him out. I know he was still after me too, because I could see him waiting for me outside the dojo. So, the moment you've all been waiting for, my Bankai fight. And before I get to it, I have one more thing. You want to know how long this took from human to Bankai? It took 28 hours, and half of that time was spent fighting my Bankai. You're about to see why it took so long. So, first off, because I had such a big ego and I was so confident at the time, I decided to make it as hard as possible. And I thought that I was gonna struggle, but I'd still be able to do it.
Are you sure about that?
The three main restrictions that I had were no skills, no stats, and no accessories except for the cat ears. Before we move on, you have to admit, these accessories make you really hard. Goes really hard with my character. I finished preparing everything and started the fight. You wanna know the worst part about cat ears? It's that a huge wall of text covers your entire screen and you can't see anything. But other than that, this fight was actually pretty easy, so I decided to change my plan. By the time I realized it, I had already beaten the first stage, so I just decided on making the second stage harder. The way I changed it is, instead of having no stats, I have a ton of spirit but no vitality, just like my original build. And I equipped all my skills, but I can't use them except for an evasive, so that my Bankai would have more ability, but I wouldn't. I went at it for a while. I knew I wasn't gonna get it right away, but if only I knew how far I really was. Hold up, I've gotta stop here for a second. What the heck is going on in the chat? Like, bro, what the heck were they doing? After around 250 attempts,
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
I finally got him to use his Bankai, but 250 is a lot, so I knew something had to change. First, I decided I was allowed to equip accessories. Then, after a few more hours, I decided to increase my vitality. And because there were new codes out, I decided to reroll my clan and Shikai. Finally, I rerolled my abilities. If you haven't noticed by now, I'm basically a normal player. The only difference was my cat ears, and my pride was not allowing me to take off those. No matter how many attempts I made. Finally, I made it to my last attempt. Wait, pause. I see on my other videos that a lot of you guys skip my time lapses, but I don't understand why. Like, don't you just want to chill and listen to music sometimes? If you have a reason for skipping the time lapses, then please tell me. Oh my god, bro. It's like 1 AM, but oh my god, bro. I finally beat him, bro. Oh my god. Do you want to hear how many attempts it took? It took me 657 attempts to beat my Bankai. So, I guess it was a little harder than Segunda.